Bonjour, this is G, and welcome to Behind the Mic Live, where I sit down with incredible coaches, public speakers, and entrepreneurs who are making big rockstar moves in their business. Today, my rockstar guest is Ola Gramovich. She is a mindset coach, certified in NLP, hypnotherapy, and life coaching. So please welcome to Behind the Mic Live, Ola. How are
Yay! Thank you
you?
so much. Thank you for this warm welcome and introduction. All is well from my side. Autumn full on, though it's sunny right now. Sunny outside, sunny inside. So all good.
Yes. So, who is Ola?
Who is Ola? Wow, this is a beautiful question. I would say this question is much deeper than we all
Mhm,
think it is. Like, who am
mhm.
I? But I feel like this question, I can reply to this question. It can take 1 hour to go through all the levels of the deepness of this question. But uh, considering the context, I will just reply to this question from the level of what I do, my work, my passion.
Mhm,
And I am a mindset coach, and I help people go from a place where they feel very lost, disconnected from themselves. They
mhm.
actually don't know the answer to the question, who are you? And
Right.
this is what we dive into during the coaching sessions, understanding who that person is from different levels, starting
Mhm.
from the ego, from the personality, from beliefs, emotions, and going even further. And basically I bring these people into a place where they have more clarity on who they are, what's
Mhm.
their purpose, and so they are able to fall in love with themselves and life again.
Yeah. So, how did you find your voice?
Wow. Okay. I feel like I found my voice when I went through my own transformation.
Mhm.
And the biggest transformation that I had is a beautiful training called RSCI. Robert Simich is my trainer, my teacher. I
Okay.
highly recommend him. He has his trainings in Dubai. And this literally brought me, kind of like shifted my life to before and after, where before I was more, filled with that heavy baggage of limitations and
Mm.
suppressed emotions. And this training allowed me to release all of
Right.
those heavy things and be able to speak up, be able to align my inside world with my outside voice, what I'm
Mhm.
saying.
Mhm.
And this is exactly actually the tools that I use with my clients, because I mean it changed, this training changed my life so much, and that's why I'm happy to share all of that knowledge with other people these days too, so they find their voice and they are able to speak up.
So, what would you say is your number one rock star quality?
Oh, I feel like it's that core, when
Mhm.
I think of a rock star, I feel and I see a person who has a very strong core within, like
Yes.
that core, that confidence, understanding who am I, why am I doing this? And from that place of strength and understanding and clarity, be able to sing, express,
Yes.
impress,
Yes.
etc.
Yeah. So, I want to talk about your journey to self-discovery and how did you know this is what you want to do?
Well, I actually never wanted to be a coach. This is a very
Okay.
funny story. When I started my self discovery journey, like I was pushed out of my corporate environment. I actually, yeah, there was a situation that shifted my mind so much, after which I understood that, okay, really, I want to do something that I'm passionate about.
Mhm.
And there's so much more to life than just sitting in the office 9 to 5 working for someone. I can do so much more than that. And yeah, I went to the self discovery journey, but it was just, to find myself, to understand myself even better. And when I was at that training that I've mentioned earlier,
Mm-hmm.
people were having the mic in their hands and saying, hey, I want to become a coach, because everyone is certified afterwards, after, they finish the
Mm-hmm.
training. I want to become
Mm-hmm.
a coach. I want to help people. And I was like, I just want to find myself. I just have so many questions in my
Oh,
head.
yeah.
I just want to find the answers to these questions. And I said, I don't want to become a coach. Like everyone, every Dick and Harry is a coach these days. Like one more coach. Like, what's the deal? But never say never, as they say.
Right. Right.
After this, yeah, after the second level of the training, I was like, hey guys, I have all of these tools. I transformed so much,
Yes.
and I cannot not share this with others. So yeah, this is how I started doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean, I think the word coach has a different meaning to many different people, and I think because we're on this platform, LinkedIn, and I think we surround ourselves with people that we're on the same frequency and connected to. But you have all this life experience, and just being a coach is sharing that with other people that can take that experience and learn something from it. So it's really interesting that you go to this training with the idea, oh, I'm not going to be a coach. I'm not going to be a coach. And then something happened. What is it? What was that happened that just changed? Okay, I'm going to be a coach, and here's how I'm going to do it, and take
My
action.
personal transformation, like,
Yeah.
it was so big, so fascinating. When I'm not sure if you've ever experienced, like, you are one person
Mm-hmm.
10 days ago, and then after, like, and in the here and now, you're a completely different person. And you're like,
Wow.
oh my god, all of the me that was in the past, oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, who was this person? It was like there is so much darkness and heaviness and limitations, and like, when I felt so light, so happy, so grateful,
Mm.
so much love and
Wow.
compassion, that I was like, okay, I cannot not share this with other people. That feeling,
Yes.
and this was the main trigger for me to start doing what I'm doing, like my own transformation. When I look back and see what my habits, what my drivers, me running away from reality through drinking, through smoking, through partying, and me being in the here and now, who I am right now, understanding what drives me. And these days, my drivers are not to run away from something, but
Right.
following my passion, following my highest excitements. So yeah, the before and after is quite real.
So you're certified in NLP and hypnotherapy and many other different modalities. I want to talk about, because we had this conversation off camera on a coffee chat. That's how we first connected on
Mhm.
LinkedIn, and we were talking about. I think NLP has gets a bad reputation. I don't know why people associate, when as soon as you say NLP, there's a certain what's the word? There's a certain like thought that comes up. I want to talk about. Let's talk about why do you think NLP, which is very real and very like just life changing, has such a misperception associated
Mhm.
with it?
Yeah, so I heard from a lot of people, and I was one of them. There is this fear that the person who knows NLP or who works with this tool is going to manipulate you,
Okay.
because this tool is very powerful, and some people, I believe, do use it to manipulate others. And
Mm.
marketing, we look at advertising. Advertising also uses these little tricks, which can be linked to NLP, for us to
Yes.
get involved and buy things and all of that stuff. But as I mentioned again on our call, the tool, for example, a knife, right? A knife can be used to cut something and cook something beautiful and tasty, gather the family together to have this beautiful meal, or a knife can be used to kill someone. So
Oh wow.
NLP or any
Yeah.
other tool is like,
Yeah.
it depends on who is using it. You can use it for good, you can use it for
Yeah.
bad. And
Wow.
yeah, for me, neurolinguistic programming, NLP, has been one of the most beautiful tools I've used personally, and with my clients also. I see the biggest transformations specifically using this beautiful tool.
Yeah, I think another reason why it gets a bad reputation is it has programming in the title, so it makes people think that they're being programmed to do something. But I see it, and you know a lot more about it than I do, obviously. But I see it as, and I saw this on the road with the bands, with the artists, the rock stars. If you visualize, you go deep into your subconscious and you visualize the success that you want, and do that on a repetition, like we talk about on, you know, they talked about it in The Secret, the law of attraction and everything,
Hmm.
and take the action to make that happen, it will happen long before it it physically happens. Like, have you experienced that?
Many times, many
Yeah.
times. I believe visualization is such a powerful, powerful tool. And a little tip for those who are listening: when
Hmm.
you guys are visualizing, it's very important to bring up the feelings. Because when we just visualize, oh, I'm sitting in a car, I'm driving a red Ferrari, okay, cool. But then you gotta have that passion within you, that fire that bring up
Yes.
those emotions. And maybe this is what it's meant, that it happens before it actually happens, because you are living it in that moment, and your mind, your unconscious mind, doesn't differentiate what's real, what's imagined. So when you're
Right.
imagining, unconsciously your body responses, everything feels and thinks that this is what's happening, even though it's not real yet.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a great exercise to a habit to get into, because I've seen it firsthand. Like I said, with the bands, they rehearse, and we would rehearse in a sound stage, and there's literally nobody there, and they have to rehearse at full 100% show ready volume and everything, and talk to a crowd that isn't there,
Yeah.
but do that enough times that when they get onto stage with the crowd, it becomes like almost like a muscle memory,
Yeah,
right?
natural.
It
Very
like,
natural.
it just, you don't even think about it. It's because you've trained your, how does that work? I mean, I know that's a big question, but what can
Yeah.
people do today if they want to just like, what's a technique that people could do that will help change their mindset?
Well, in regards to manifesting or changing limiting beliefs, what
Let's go
exactly?
with manifesting. Let's go with
With
manifesting.
manifesting.
Yeah, a
Okay,
quick technique. Yeah.
absolutely. So, with manifesting, um, what I prefer doing is to write what you want, write down,
Okay.
ground that thought, put it into the paper. Writing really, really helps. When you write things down and when you're manifesting, it's important not to use negations. No,
Okay.
never. So you gotta stay positive,
Okay.
and you gotta focus on what you want. An example: oh, I don't want it to rain. That's
Right.
the wrong way to phrase what you want to manifest. The
Right.
right way is to, oh, I want clear skies today. I want to have a sunny day today. You see,
Yes.
the feeling of this
Mm-hmm.
sentence is so much brighter. The picture that my unconscious mind gets is sunny skies, is
Right.
beautiful skies and sun, rather
Right.
than the rain. So
Right.
that's step number one. Step number two is to ask yourself, what is there stopping me to get what I want? What are those
Mm.
maybe limiting beliefs? Oh, I'm scared what others people will think about me. Or like, find those limitations that won't allow you to get what you want. And
Right.
then work on them, remove them. When that is done, time to visualize. You sit
Yes.
down, do a couple of deep breaths to bring you into the present moment, and start visualizing what you want in the most like specific way. What do you hear? What do you
Okay.
see? What do you
Okay.
feel?
Yep.
All the emotions, all the feelings, all the sensory, um, all the sensations, bring them up as much as possible. And also, it's very, very important when you're manifesting to detach from the outcome. Because a lot of times when people manifest, they're so stuck to what they want
Yeah.
that it just doesn't allow the energy to flow and doesn't allow things to actually manifest. So it's very important to detach from the outcome. What I usually do with my clients when we do the manifestation technique,
Mm-hmm.
we uh, have a balloon, a helium balloon. I
Okay.
tell them to attach their wishes into, like, onto the string of the
Okay.
balloon, and
Yep.
to go out into a place where they enjoy the most, into the nature, forest or beach, and let it go. And this is kind of like
Oh,
showing
wow.
the
Yeah.
universe that
Yeah.
I'm not attached to what I desire. So
Hmm.
I detach from the outcome, and I let the balloon go along with my desires, and I trust that it's going to happen in the best possible way for me.
Wow. Wow. That's a great that's a great technique. So let's talk about your coaching, your return to self coaching. What are some of the key areas that you focus on?
Yeah, so it has three main pillars.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is the baggage, and it's the most important one. We remove the heavy load, the baggage that we carry and we accumulate throughout all our life. That is
Mm-hmm.
your limiting beliefs, inner conflicts, and suppressed emotions. So that's pillar number one. Then pillar number two, we go into understanding who are you, your needs, your values, and what is your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And the third pillar is manifestation. We work on the dreams, desires, and create
Yes.
an action plan for the person to not only dream and want something, but actually take those first steps towards what they want.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. And so what can entrepreneurs do now to reprogram their mind from this feeling of lack, feeling of just not having enough, or someone else has a better business or whatever, to getting that
Mhm.
feeling of abundance and confidence and just, okay, I rock, you know?
Yeah, that's all about finding the limiting beliefs within you. So
Yeah.
all of that lack, all of that comparison to others, it comes from a certain limiting belief a person has. So it's all about finding it and working on it, shifting it into something possible, reprogramming your mind.
Mm.
Once again, NLP, neuro
Yep.
linguistic programming, really, really helps to do that. To have one set of programs, which is, for example, I'm not enough, other people's are better than me, I never have enough money, etc., etc. So that's a program within the person's mind. And
Right.
yeah, neurolinguistic programming reprograms that
Right.
and removes the negative ones
Okay.
and installs those ones that are going to benefit. I love myself, I accept myself, life is abundant, money comes to me with ease, etc., etc.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it may sound simple when people hear it, but the technique to get there and then taking action and really incorporating it into your daily life is quite a challenge. And I want to know, what do you enjoy most about working with your clients?
That's their transformation, seeing
Yeah,
how, yeah, the before and
the before
after.
and after.
And it's
Yeah.
all about the mindset. Honestly, like, I don't really change their lives. What I help them with, I change
Okay.
their perspective on life.
Oh
And that's
wow.
what matters, right? They could maybe live in the same apartment, same work, same everything, but the way they perceive it will be already different. And that's a huge, huge, huge step, which will
Right.
allow them to create more change. Because when we are in total denial, hating what we have at this point of time, this is not a good place to start.
Yeah. Stephen Covey said when you change the lens, you see things differently. And
Exactly.
like, again,
What
it
about
sounds so
them?
simple, but it's so powerful when the gratitude list, the visualization, the SWOT analysis, star analysis, everything
Mhm.
that people are like, okay, yeah, I've heard about this, but people really don't take the time when they're really feeling that to go into that. So I want to talk about. We had this conversation off camera just today, right before the show. We are talking about this, so I want the audience to hear this. But we were talking about, you know, going on video on LinkedIn, but we were also talking about the comparison of LinkedIn versus IG. And
Yeah.
there's something that I want you to share what you shared with me earlier because I think it will reach a lot of people.
Yeah. So I actually don't have any other social media apart from LinkedIn. So I deleted my Instagram and Facebook 5 years ago. And yeah, I haven't been happier ever since. And why I did that? Because I was in a place where I was doom scrolling,
Mm-hmm.
wasting my time hours and hours on Instagram, comparing my life to others. And yeah, like I'm sitting in the office 10 p.m. on my computer, emails and all of that stuff. And then, scroll, I would get my phone, see someone, I don't know, flying first class, going to living in Bali, living the life of their
Right,
dreams. And
right.
I'd be like, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? And then, yeah, I just deleted Instagram and Facebook just for a month. It was not like it was so uncomfortable to delete it completely. I was just like paused it for a month. There's an option like in the settings when you go there. You can again like reinstall it
You
afterwards.
deleted Facebook like for good.
Now, yes, now it's for
Oh
good.
my
But
god! I don't even know
before
how
it
to.
was like my first step was just for a month with an option to get it back. But
Okay.
then, yeah, after a month, I was like, whoa, this is so cool. I have so much more time. I started reading books again. I feel so much more
Wow.
at peace and happy with who I am, like in the here and now, because there's no constant stimulation of, oh, look, someone has or is doing some cool stuff and you are not. So yeah, there's just so much more peace within after that situation. And yeah, after some time passed, I completely deleted it. I have no option to recover it again, and it's gone.
That's a big step. I don't think I can make that official step. I do focus my content and everything on LinkedIn, but yeah, I do share the videos on IG. But I am kind of I think okay, maybe deleting Facebook. I mean, for people watching, that's pretty big because I do stay in contact with people. But I do think there is something about like what you're saying about that, and just getting in touch with the subconscious, and maybe it's putting the focus into. I think this generation. Now I sound old, but in the last 20 years, I mean, I remember back back in the day stories. Sandy loves these back in the day stories. We didn't have cell phones, we didn't have internet, we didn't have
Yeah.
Facebook, and business still happened. You went and shook hands with people. You got on a plane and flew to a convention. You got in your car and drove, or you went door to door, whatever it was, you were still able to reach people. And I think that because of technology that we have at our fingertips, that we can literally reach anybody on the planet at any time, that we can kind of get lost in, like you're saying, all this, especially the negative, but all this information coming through. So let's say someone doesn't want to go officially and delete their Facebook and Instagram, but they just want to focus. What do you think? Like, what's a great way to get into the neuro side of let's just focus our attention on this one thing. Let's
Yeah.
stick with that. And yeah, what are your thoughts?
So, in regards to focusing during the day, what I would
Mm-hmm.
suggest is to remove all your notifications.
Oh, ow.
Just they will not pop up and they will not distract you. I don't have my
mm,
notifications are switched off from anything. Like my
mm,
WhatsApp, Telegram, all of these are switched off. It's been 2 years already. And there's so much more focus. If I'm doing a task, I'm doing a task. Because I also
mm,
remember myself, I could be writing an email or writing a post, and then there's ding, 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 and you're like, oh, focus is gone. So when the notifications are off,
hmm, hmm.
there's no sound, there's nothing to distract you. You have your focus onto the task. And I just don't switch them on like ever. And again, I take control back of my time because
Take
of that.
control.
When I
Yeah.
need to, when I have that free time, when I
Mm.
have these like 10 minutes, 30 minutes, wherever, whatever, I get onto my phone, I check it, and then I reply to those people when I have time, when I am free.
Wow. So it's very intentional. It's like, okay, I'm going to go on LinkedIn and reply for this period of time. And then, man, that's a tough one too. I don't know if I could turn notifications off.
It
I have
is,
all the
it's
news
so much easier.
notifications turned off and Facebook notifications, but the LinkedIn notifications are always dinging even during this
Okay.
show. They're dinging. You're right. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's so much easier than you think it is, really.
Baby steps, right? Baby steps. Take one step,
Yeah.
turn the notification off.
Yeah, and also it's again all about experimenting. What works for
Yeah.
me might not work
Yeah.
for other people. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, sharing something that really, really helps me in my life to
Yeah.
focus.
So how can people work with you?
They can DM me on LinkedIn.
Yes. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's easy peasy. You just
Yes.
DM, say, hey, I want to work with you, and I'll be very happy to have that initial call and see if we're aligned and
Yeah.
how can I help.
Wow. So before we go, I have to know, who is your favorite rock star?
My favorite rock star. So it's actually Beyonce. I'm a big fan of.
Okay. Okay.
I went to her concert, and it was an incredible show. It was in Poland, in Warsaw,
Mhm.
and yeah, she's just rocking it. Like it's like going. It's not only about singing; it's literally a show. She puts
Right.
up an incredible show.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
that's my she's my rock star.
Yes.
And I want to also share something.
Okay.
I got tickets to Coldplay, so I'm gonna be going to the show in January. It was crazy. Like to buy tickets to Coldplay, it's even harder than to buy tickets to like festivals like Burning Man or Tomorrowland. It was crazy. I'm the only one and one more person who was able to get tickets from all our friends.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
Wow.
I'm super excited about the show, and I feel like I might have another favorite superstar very soon.
Yes. Have you seen them live before?
No, that's gonna be my first time,
Oh,
and
it's
I was so many of my friends saw them
yes,
live, and they said it's the best concert they've
the
ever been.
best.
Yeah. So have you
The
been?
best. Yeah. Well, I was on tour with them for a
Oh
while.
wow.
I was with the opening act, and
Uh,
I got to tell you, out of all the bands, everybody that I met, because they're just the nicest guys. They're just the best. And I saw this documentary. I don't know if it was Netflix or Amazon, one of the channels on TV, and it had Chris Martin, the band, and he went and said, "We will headline Glastonbury in 4 years." He said that, and they had the video of it, and it was, this is when they were just starting out. They're in a van and trailer. They just played a show. There's like 10 people, asking for autographs or whatever. And he looks right at the camera and he goes, "This is Chris. This is Coldplay, and we will headline Glastonbury in 4 years. Write it down or mark it down." And 4 years. We want to talk about everything that this is real. Everything you're talking about, everything we talk about with the universe. I've had guests on to talk about the science and how molecular and all this stuff that's happening is real. They literally manifested that, and almost to the day, because it was a summer, four
wow.
years later, not just play Glastonbury, not just like play some show, headline the show. Talk about being very specific, what you just said. We will be headlining Glastonbury, the biggest festival on the planet, even bigger than anything here in the States. And they did it in 4 years. So just
That is amazing.
imagine the power of that. So I just, yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah, it's the
incredible.
power, the intention,
The
the
intention.
and also taking action. Like these
Yes.
guys were, I'm pretty sure, like it didn't come so easy. Like
No.
parents paying off everything. Like they worked to get what they wanted. They worked to reach that goal of theirs.
This
Not just
this
sitting.
is this is what I talk about with the clients, with the rockstar speakers too, is that when you make the decision, at some point that band Chris and the guys made a decision that we're a band and we're going to be headlining Glastonbury and we're going to be one of the biggest bands on the planet. And when they tell everybody who's around them at that time, they go, "Okay, that's good. Well, go finish university. Come
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
whatever. Like, go get a day job. You know what I mean, right?" But it takes so much strength, and that's what I mean by channeling your inner rock star, to just stay focused and go, "Okay, we're a rock star now. We're an artist, so we need songs. Let's write
Mhm.
songs." They take action, and then, okay, we need to record these songs. Let's go in the studio. Hey, these are pretty good. Let's get them to a record label. We need a manager, agent. You see, like, all the steps. So this is something that everybody watching this show, no matter what your dream is or your visualization is, if you I know I want to hear your thoughts on this too. When you really feel it, like it's already happening, and then you become that person, then the next thing is taking the steps. Okay, I want to be one of the biggest public speakers in the world. So what's this first step? Okay, well, I need to get training to go on stage, or I need to go do shows, or I need to get an agent or whatever. And it's like, I want to talk about, like, just that's such a great example of 4 years. Four
Yeah,
years headlining, not just play the fed. 4 years. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
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 That's beautiful. And I totally agree with everything what you say. It's about taking action. Sometimes we might not know all the steps, and that's
Right.
okay. For me, what I usually do, I have at least 3 steps ready. And for my
Okay.
clients also, if the vision is quite far, quite big, we might not know how to get there exactly. But at least when you have these 3 steps ready, you'll get to one step and you'll suddenly see 3 more steps. And when you get
Yes.
to the third one, you suddenly see more steps and you'll just start,
Yes.
kind of like going and seeing more as you go. This is one thing. And the other thing is when we have that strong intention and when we are taking action, sometimes I feel like life is testing us. And
Okay.
when we reach and when we go to our when we move towards our goals,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes life can slap us and be like,
Right.
something can happen wrong, something can happen not according to plan. And this is when that fire within, that intention has to be so strong that no matter what, I'm still going there. I have
Yes.
a very, very funny, maybe, if I can call it
Yeah.
funny, story of one of my dreams that I recently manifested. uh, I wanted to go to Costa Rica 4 years ago, and I
Okay.
was doing the manifestation techniques, writing all of this down, visualizing. And
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, I actually already bought my tickets. I was boarding the plane. Everything is set, all perfect. And when I was boarding the plane, the lady checked my documents and she's like, "Excuse me, where's your visa to Costa Rica?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute, I
Really?
have my
What?
my European visa. It's okay."
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
She's like, "No, we're taking your luggage from the plane and you are out." I was like, "Oh man, you're kidding me." No. So my fire, my intention was so strong that I didn't
Mm-hmm.
forget about Costa Rica after that situation, didn't get upset or just cancel on my dream.
Right.
I waited till the right moment and got the right visa. I learned from my
Right. Right.
mistakes. Yeah, I learned from my mistakes. And I
Right.
literally recently came back from Costa Rica. I've spent 2 weeks there, and it was one of the best trips
Wow.
that I've ever had. It was incredible to finally live that dream, that manifestation, the
Mm.
things that I was writing down to finally be in that picture. It feels
Yes.
so good, so good. And this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes it won't happen at the exact time, at the exact maybe
Right.
even place, but like as long as you want it, as long as the fire within is there,
Mm-hmm.
you just continue walking towards that and you're gonna get there.
Wow. This is incredible. This is like our coffee chat part two, but now people
Yeah.
get to see this one. This is, yeah. I want to thank you so much for being on the show. I want everyone to get in touch with Ola here on LinkedIn and DM her and work with her, because this is just incredible. And you were talking about before the sights and the sounds and even the smells and everything, and then you're right there in Costa Rica. See
Yeah.
it, like, if you manifested it 2 years before, but then it just, that it's just an incredible story. Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually it did happen just a little bit
Yeah.
later. So
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And,
Thank you.
you're such a true rock star.
Thank
Until
you
next
so much.
time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ciao.